They abandoned the dog I rescued. They said it's just a dog. But Ranger was more family than the ones who smiled over my $3,200, then dumped him like garbage, 2 counties away. I cleaned oil-stained hands to feed him, skipped meals to buy his meds. While I worked double shifts, they filed his fate under inconvenient. I traced the shelter tag back, heart pounding, rage steady. I thought losing Ranger was the end, but what I found there made everything worse. They say people like me get used to loss. That when you grow up in foster care, you stop expecting things to stay, homes, people, pets, anything. But they're wrong. Because when you grow up with nothing, you feel every little thing even harder. My name's Trevor. I'm 27, a mechanic in Flagstaff, Arizona. I fix trucks by day, rebuild my peace by night, and I live pretty simple. Or at least I did. Until a bleeding pit bull changed everything. It started on a Tuesday night. Just after 9 p.m., I was heading home from a double shift, still in my grease-stained overalls. It had rained hard that day. One of those thick desert monsoons that make the roads feel like rivers. I was taking the back way near Butler Avenue when my headlights caught a shape on the side of the road. At first, I thought it was roadkill. Then it moved. Barely. I pulled over. There he was, this pit bull, soaked, shaking, bleeding from the hind leg. His ribs stuck out like shadows under his skin. No collar. No tags. Just eyes that looked tired but still trusting. I crouched down and said, "Hey, buddy." He didn't flinch. Didn't growl. He leaned into me like he'd been waiting for someone to show up. I wrapped my hoodie around him, loaded him into the back of my truck, and drove straight to the 24-hour vet. The vet looked at me like I was crazy. He's got a torn ligament, cracked paw, and a bullet grazed near his thigh. You sure he's not yours? He is now, I said. That night, I dropped $1,100 from my emergency fund. And that was just the start. Over the next 2 weeks, I spent another $2,100 on surgery, antibiotics, x-rays, and later, rehab. I named him Ranger. Because he survived something he wasn't supposed to. And because he reminded me of a soldier who kept marching, even when the world gave up on him. Ranger couldn't walk without wobbling for a while. I carried him to the yard. I sat beside him when he cried in his sleep. He never barked. Just looked at me like he understood more than he should. Every day after work, I'd rush home to check on him. My place was small, barely a 1-bedroom, but we made it work. I gave him my bed and slept on the floor for a week straight. Didn't even think twice. But then my sister Melanie called. Travis got laid off. I'm drowning with the kids. Can you come stay for a bit, help out? I hadn't lived with family since I was 16, but I remembered what it felt like to need someone and not have anyone. I said yes. I packed up my things, moved Ranger into the truck, and drove across town to their 3-bedroom house. Melanie, her husband Travis, and their 2 kids, Lily and Jake. The kids screamed when they saw Ranger. They thought he was the coolest thing ever. Uncle Trev saved a dog from the highway, Jake yelled. It felt good. Like maybe I was bringing something special into that house. Maybe Ranger and I both found something that looked like home. Melanie set up the guest room for me. I set up Ranger's bed in the corner. The first night, he curled right up next to me. I remember thinking, maybe this is what it's like to belong somewhere. For the first week, everything felt warm. I'd take the kids to school, work a full shift, come back and help Melanie with dinner. Ranger was healing fast, and the kids loved helping with his rehab exercises. He even started wagging his tail again. I didn't mind pitching in. I covered groceries a few times. Filled up their minivan when Travis said he was tight on gas. Paid for Jake's inhaler when Mel said their insurance lapsed. I didn't say anything. That's just what you do for family, right? Full story on channel. Linked below.